Like a lot of other people, I'm sure, I keep thinking about this unhinged interaction in the Oval Office. You know, the one between US President Donald Trump, his Vice President JD Vance, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
It's very disrespectful to the country, this country.
With all respect to you.
Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
even
entire
today,
meeting, you said thank you.
I want you to understand just how bad this was, including what Russia had to say after it. Because while you've probably seen the clips by now, there's surrounding context here that you might not know. And you should, because we're seeing what feels like a fundamental shift in international politics. Let's start with what happened in the Oval Office. First, you should know that before things got heated, Zelensky showed Trump images of emaciated Ukrainian prisoners of war who had been held in Russian prisons, seemingly in a bid to drum up some compassion. A bid that we all know by now sadly failed. Because even after seeing those images, Trump and Vance continued to make it clear that they don't believe security guarantees need to be part of a ceasefire deal. Which is wild because, as Zelensky pointed out during that meeting, Russia has a nasty habit of violating ceasefires. But when he tried to explain that to JD Vance, Vance got very angry and started questioning Zelensky's gratitude.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
even
entire
today,
meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
CNN's Daniel Dale was able to find 33 instances, which he listed in this article, so you can go check them out yourself, in which Zelensky thanked Americans and US leaders. It's like someone buying you dinner once so that when they later punch holes in the wall, they can complain about you not being grateful enough. So yeah, it's not surprised that then people turned Vance into a meme of a little bitch, captioning him saying stuff like, "You have to say please and thank you, Mr. Zelensky." But as if Vance's display wasn't bad enough, Trump got involved and went totally off the rails, telling Zelensky in front of international media that his sovereign nation has no power, saying, quote, "You don't have the cards." So I guess in Trump's mind, might makes right, which bodes really well for Canada and Greenland. Not long afterward, Trump implies that he and Putin went through the whole Hunter Biden laptop thing together. And as Trump rants about Bidens and Clintons and laptops and bedrooms, Zelensky sits there looking like this.
Because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton.
This cartoonish display is happening in front of a man who is begging for help in the face of brutality committed against very real people and attacks on Ukraine's very sovereignty. But instead, he's degraded and insulted by Trump and Vance. And as if that weren't all, they also allow some grifter right-wing media dude to press Zelensky on why he's not wearing a suit.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, you have problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such.
Office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe
something
like
like
this.
yours. Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than yeah.
Clearly, the whole White House choosing the press pool thing is going great. Oh, and Trump, in response to another reporter's question about what happens if Russia violates the ceasefire, said, "What if a bomb drops on your head right now?"
What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it?
Not long after this contentious meeting, media reported that Zelensky was approached by some US officials who kicked him out of the White House. Then people like Elon Musk spent the next few days attacking Ukraine on Twitter, so that's cool. Although this isn't really new behavior from Musk. Anyways, this whole thing has been an egregious display of victim blaming, where Vance and Trump tried to humiliate Zelensky for having the audacity to ask for a real, lasting peace. Not just another ceasefire with no guarantees, which Putin has historically shown he's willing to violate. Still, in a moment that I saw online described as the entire class coming together to stand up to the bully, the Europeans and Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau gathered together to rally around Zelensky. Zelensky, with the UK Prime Minister saying after the summit that, quote, a number of allies are joining a coalition of the willing prepared to put boots on the ground in Ukraine. Oh, but don't worry, the US did take some international action to ensure military aid makes it overseas and fast over the weekend. Oh, no, they didn't send it to Ukraine. The US Secretary of State signed a declaration over the weekend to deliver $4 billion in military aid to Israel. That's the same Israel that just blocked entry of humanitarian aid to Gaza while demanding changes to the ceasefire deal. And to be clear, the denial of humanitarian access to civilians is prohibited under the Geneva Conventions. So that's war crime level stuff. But hey, at least one guy thinks the US has its international priorities right. Russia's foreign minister says the US foreign policy pivot, quote, largely coincides with our vision. So, I'm just gonna leave this here for the Trump administration. What do you think of all this?